kids went out, so I played piano and cleaned up. Did you know there's a link between these two activities? After I explain it, you'll probably think to yourself, yes, that makes perfect sense. But until then, it might sound bizarre because they're so different. For one, playing piano is all about enjoying lovely music, whereas cleaning up is all about boring, annoying chores and the systematic destruction of germs and pests. You know, in some ways, it's amazing that I would clean when my wife and kids are out, because when I was a kid, my parents had to force me to do it. It's not that I didn't like clean, tidy environments, I did. For example, I knew that this was more desirable than this. So I had good cleaning instincts, but I lacked discipline, so I never even considered spending my time cleaning, not with all the other things I could be doing, like playing with toys, or watching TV, or drinking coffee, but there was no escaping the need to clean because I grew up in a large family. There was 10 of us, and you can show me any family of 10 or more, and I'll show you a family who knows how to make a mess. But don't get me wrong, we weren't running around destroying everything in sight. It was more of a gradual mess build up over time. A little clutter here, some papers and food wrappers there, put one apple core in the bin, put the next one behind the lounge, that type of thing. Unfortunately, this slow build-up would mean that everything was fine until it wasn't, because periodically the mess would become too great for my parents to bear, and those were days to be feared, because my parents would transform into what seemed like military commanders, and we'd have to spend the whole day on a cleaning mission. Inside, outside, no mess would be left behind. It was tough. Well, the bedrooms weren't too bad because you can push a lot of junk under a bed, but other areas inside were harder, and outside was a big problem zone. I guess that was due to the sheer size of the yard, and as you can imagine, no beds. Anyway, after a full day of hard labour, the cleaning would be done and the place would look great, at least for a day or two. Then the slow build-up process would begin again. And that was my childhood in relation to cleaning. Sorry to interrupt, I'll be quick. I just wanted to mention the Sight Read Everything app. It's an app that makes sight reading practice really easy to do. And the whole idea is to forget about researching what you should be sight reading or how you should be sight reading, or downloading different sheet music files and then having to manage and organize them. Instead, all you have to do is open the app and sight read everything there. And I'm pretty sure you'll become a very high level sight reader just by doing that. So if you would like to become a very high level sight reader, I encourage you to try the app. I'll put a link in the description, and now back to the video. Now I'm not a child anymore because I've transformed into a big, huge man, and my family is made up of me, my wife, 2 kids, and 2 pianos, so there's only 6 of us. And I clean without my parents forcing me to. So what changed, you might ask? Well, let's see. When I was a kid, I lived in a house. Now I also live in a house, so that hasn't changed. When I was a kid, there were parents and kids living in the house. Now the occupants of my house also includes parents and kids. But what about the pianos? Well, when I was a kid, I didn't play piano, whereas now I do. And that's what's so bizarre. But the more I think about it, the more sense it actually makes. Piano is exactly the type of thing to cultivate the discipline needed for uncoerced cleaning. As pianists, we force ourselves to sit down and practice, even when we don't feel like it, even when we sound terrible, and even when we've been playing for 15 years and we go on YouTube and see 5-year-olds better than us. Now that's real discipline, and once you have that, it's safe to say you'll have no trouble picking up a vacuum cleaner or putting on a pair of pink gloves. Now, one last thing before I go, a piece of advice. If you are going to do a good bit of cleaning, another thing that helps is giving yourself a reward after you're done. I mean, after all, it is work doing these boring, annoying chores, and systematically destroying all those germs and pests.